everyone. It's May 31st, and this is the Something Different Show. We've got wonderful guests today. We just heard from John Harding here. If you want to come on over and have a seat, he's going to be our first guest interview of the evening.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Don't be so polite. Shut up. Thank you.
So this is our first time meeting. You did a wonderful show here, but we talked on the phone very briefly. That's all we got. So no, this isn't your necessarily the first instrument. It looks like it takes a lot of practice to operate that instrument. But let's back up.
Okay.
To Lil John Harding and
Okay.
let's get to know you a little bit better. And why don't you tell us, how you got interested in music? Was your first instrument? How do you get into this whole crazy rhythmic thing here?
It's hard to say how I got to that, but when I was very young, I saw in Alpen, the big long instruments that they play in the Swiss Alps to call to each other across the mountain peaks, and something about that really appealed to me. And somebody told me that a French horn was an Alpen horn rolled up into more compact shape. So I took up the French horn based on that. But the French horn never made the sound that I wanted to make. But I stuck with it for a long time. My French horn teacher told me I did not have the embouchure. I didn't have the lip for a French horn, that I should give it up and take up the violin or something like that. But I stuck with the French horn. But eventually I discovered the didgeridoo. And I realized that there was something about the didgeridoo that was really what I was connecting with the Alpen horn. And my life suddenly started to make sense. And the music world opened up in a whole different way for me then. I started to listen to music in a different way and think about music in a different way. And that sort of led me more into noise. And these are kind of chaotic times that we live in right now. And looking for a way to kind of express the chaos and just the weirdness and the technological angst and the oppressiveness of technology. And realizing that there's a lot of this stuff that is going into landfills. Like it's a terrible thing to buy these toys for your kids. Like parents are going to have to listen because they don't really make music. They make a racket, and any parent who has to endure kids banging on these things, I really feel for. And so I understand why they end up in thrift stores so often, which is where I find them. And so that's...
No. When we were talking on the phone, this sort of ties together.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you were doing a lot of political activism, and that sort of brought you from the East Coast and how you arrived in Humboldt.
Well, music brought me to Humboldt. I was doing a solar-powered electric guitar tour and ended up at K-Mud. And needing a place to stay overnight. It was the end of the road, or the end of the tour. I'm running out of money and not knowing what to do next. And the DJ who had me on his show just invited me to come back to his place for a while. And I ended up staying in Southern Humboldt for about 7 weeks. And everybody I talked to there kept saying, well, if you like it so much, why don't you stay? And I couldn't think of a good argument not to do that.
It happens to a lot of us.
Yes.
Right, Bobby?
Oh yeah, my van broke down coming here. And I don't even drive one.
No, you've done a lot of events since you got to Humboldt County. Do you have anyone in particular that motivated you or inspired you once you got to the Green Acres here in Humboldt?
Events out here that inspired me? The Ink people had an event a few years back where they had this band from DeKalb, Illinois, who were doing this. It was kind of a circuit bending workshop. They did circuit bend music, and they were teaching everybody how to make a contact microphone. which is a really useful, I've built a whole lot of instruments using these contact microphones. It's a really cheap way to turn any acoustic instrument into an electric instrument. And it detects vibrations in solid objects. So you can hear how vibrations sound in any kind of object, and it opens up a whole world of musical possibilities. So the Ink people brought them to play a little concert, and I came to their workshop, and it made a huge difference. I mean, I've been making electroacoustic, those kind of instruments ever since.
Now, you've played with a number of groups here in the county with a good friend of ours, good friend of Bobby,
Yeah.
Mr. Sean Powers.
Oh, Sean Powers is amazing. He's been like one of my favorite people to meet and work with here in Humboldt County. Yeah, we used to play in an improvised ensemble, and there were probably 30 people in the band, but only like a quarter of us would show up on any given night, and you never knew what we were going to sound like. But Sean would bring this suitcase full of ethnic instruments, and like in the middle of it all, he'd be doing some kind of like Cossack dance, playing a like Thai reed flute, and reciting James Brown lyrics, and just like like putting on a and all of it like with no ego, just like he was entertaining a room full of kids. And I just loved that energy about him, and that was one of my favorite things about that band.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet this guy.
Well, we might get a chance to see Sean Powers later tonight. You will be coming back and playing your music again at the end of the show.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
But for now, I want to thank you for being our guest
Oh, no
here on the
problem.
Something
Thank you
Different
very much,
show.
Shane. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
John Harden, everyone. And we'll see you guys at the end of the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, play something happy now. Yeah, joyful. Oh, all those spring flowers are cracking up to the concrete. You've seen that before, right? Nothing can stop nature. Little butterflies are checking out them petals. That's right. Fluttering around. That's why they call them flutterflies, not butterflies. Joyful little weeds will pop up through the cracks. And they will spread seeds, and they will spread more. That's right. And then hippie kids will come and string beads and burn incense on the grass. The concrete and the asphalt is all in the past. Because the forest is taking over. That's right. Because asphalt is not permanent. Nature is permanent.